Alright. Yeah, alright, let's just assume I'm in the mood for this, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you get it. Know what I'm saying? If you really thought that I wasn't gonna read this book, you ain't been paying attention. Boosie Badazz is my favorite Twitter celebrity. We all know is Wipe Me Down, INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just know him for taking L's from Lil Nas X, which is fair. That's what he's known for nowadays. And just kind of being wild on Twitter. Unfortunately, like, none of that is in this book. I was really hoping there'd be some, like, I don't know, stripper poles would just pop out from in between the pages. That would have been an exciting development for the world of literature. It didn't happen though. It's his memoir, but like he's young as heck, so I mean he's like what, 38? Mind you, he's lived a heck of a life. So I'm gonna skip anything where it would be like me talking about what happens in the book because A, I don't remember, and B, it just wouldn't make any sense because it's like everything is so like disjointed and just like scrambled in there. All of the critiques that I gave are coming from someone who actually likes Boosie as a human because he just is. Like he's not, like he doesn't give a shit. He's not bending to popular will. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be liked by everybody. I feel like the majority of like popular culture comes from this idea that in order to get paid, you need to be accepted and acceptable. I don't respect having to fit in. You're always gonna be an outcast somewhere. So the idea that there's this one place that we all know, this internet town square that we all must enter, that if we don't fit in here, then we're not quite worth the time of day. Well, what about in your own home? Many people in those town squares where they're, you know, anti-Trumpers, they go home and their parents and cousins wear MAGA hats. They're not accepted there, which is just as stupid. Because if you're family, you should be helping each other eat. You shouldn't be judging each other on how well you fit in. I swore off politics anyway, so I'm not gonna go any further into that. The other thing that I want to make sure that I make clear before I start with my critiques is that this is better than Logic's book. It was more entertaining, this book, than Supermarket, because yeah, blah blah blah. I don't want to get too much into anything really, because this book was just like I read this book in like not even 5 hours. It's just a whirlwind of words, all disjointed. I'm pretty sure Boosie was high when he wrote it, because that sense of like jumping your attention between, you know, things that are tangentially connected. It's like in every chapter in this book. The only chapter in the book where it wasn't like obviously like disjointed and like difficult to follow was the prison chapter when he was in Angola, because there was a beginning and an end, and the people that he met and the events had some kind of linear progression. Whereas the rest of the book, not only is it divided into subject instead of chronological order, but even chapter by chapter there's this sense of breaking concentration. So he'll start by talking about his mother, then the next paragraph, women in general, the next paragraph, something happens between his mother and his father, then back to just like his mother's life, and there's no sense of like going anywhere. It's just like he's sitting in the middle of his life and looking around and just writing down the first thing that he sees, but that's no way to get an understanding of the experience of one's life. I didn't get an idea of his life at all. Like he talks about being famous at a young age before he starts talking about his experience trying to make it in music. So I don't quite understand where his opinions about his life are even coming from, because I don't understand what's happening in his life that's making him reflect in this way. It's almost like having like the answers to a math problem without showing your work, because this isn't like a biography by any means. It's more of just like how Boosie thinks about stuff, and that thought again is just like psh. Yeah, because like I can go on and on with like these little problems and little things, but like that's the long and short of it. It's like it's disjointed. Like this isn't a story. This is just like Boosie doing a Vlad TV interview, but without Vlad to give him like questions that, you know, make sense following one another. This is just like Boosie in a room by himself, just talking and talking and talking. There was a chapter that I really enjoyed, which was the ending chapter, Being a Boss. And this is really his manifesto. There's a quote in here. I'm gonna read both of these quotes because these were the two moments in the entire time where my like, bing, 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 like, it would just beam directly into my head, like this is what I wanted to hear. It's for the same reason I enjoyed 50 Cent's and Robert Greene's book, where he goes into pretty intense detail as to why 50 Cent's street life was directly beneficial to his business life. There's a bit of that in this book too, but I'm just gonna spoil it right here. This is about him wanting to become a billionaire, and he says this in two different ways throughout the book. I love to see CEOs who capitalize off deals. I'm not a hater, I'm a gorilla in this shit. It's the same as the game. If this has a plug and this plug is plugging the game, I need to get under his plug. That's what it's about. I just love to see other in the game making power moves. Like when he said I need to get under his plug, I was like, oh, that's how that works. In the secondary paragraph, he relates it directly to how he intends to make more money. I saw one billionaire on TV, a Chinese man, and I googled his ass. I tried to get a meeting with him. That's how I always played this shit. I never thought I could with the same old people and elevate. That's why I signed with who I signed with. Where I'm from, you have to grab onto somebody. You're gonna be selling dimes your whole life. Just keep that in mind. You gotta grab onto somebody with more knowledge than you. Not only grab on, but listen. Because they didn't make it to where they are by not listening to someone else. So you know, I'm trying to with billionaires. I ain't gonna make no millions with who's only making hundreds of thousands. I ain't gonna make a billion with no millionaire. I think that's like eloquent. Frankly, I really like that. And that whole last chapter, it really gave me more of a sense of like his whole business persona. I would love more of that. I would like a Robert Greene 50th Law with Boosie. Like I would love something like that. As far as a reading experience, it's like there's no sense of an actual life. It's just opinions about a life. I did give it like a 2 on Goodreads when I finished it because that last chapter like hit so hard. But I gotta be real with you, man. It's a 1. Like it's not something I'm gonna go back to for real. It's not even worth the 2 stars. I remembered I'm supposed to plug stuff. I probably have a Patreon and I definitely have a Discord, but that's kind of where I go to be alone on the internet. So I have like more stuff on Instagram that's like fun. What else do I have? Twitter for more dumb content. Whatever, I'll read something and come at you next time. Alrighty, bye.
You know what the most dangerous thing in America is, right?